and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. With Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
What's up? It is Two Dudes with Attitudes, WWE end of the year, New Year's / everything edition. As always, I am the Heartbreak Dude, Denton, the dude of Wrestle Talk. And with me, as always, is the man who enjoys wrestling. Just a dude who enjoys it, actually, is what I hear. Yeah. Mr. Ryan himself. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing for New Year's almost?
Last episode of 2020, or the last WWE episode of 2023. Mm-hmm. So it should be a good one. And tomorrow we have our last AEW episode where we do some predictions for this upcoming pay-per-view. And they added like 19 matches on Dynamite this week. So it should be fun.
Yes,
should be a 9-hour pay-per-view.
I know we gotta talk about before our episode tomorrow if we're gonna watch it or not. I'm interested. So
yeah, I'm down to watch it.
You let me know. I got nothing to do, and I don't know if I have 17 hours. Maybe we'll just do like a half show.
Yeah, we'll do something.
We'll start like 3 hours in, and then we'll get to like the first match by then.
Yeah, we'll fall asleep. I'm gonna shave my beard, and then it'll all be back by the time the episode's over.
By the time the show's over, my stash will already be like going up. It'll be curling up a little bit. Yes, sir. But anyway, let's get the party started. As you can tell, we have a new background. If you didn't know already, we got new names, new logos, new everything. We're gonna be making shirts this week. We're gonna be rocking those shirts and then hopefully start selling them. We'll see what's going on. New year, new us. That opening is still popping as always.
Yeah.
But let's go, man. We got news and we got Smackdown and NXT only because Raw was a clip show. Smackdown this week's gonna be a clip show, so the AEW show will be more in depth. But we'll run through Smackdown and NXT quickly since they were pre-recorded. Things happen, but not much. But let's go. What's in the news, my man? Ryan, what's going on?
So there's 3 big stories right now in the world of WWE, and we'll start with one, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And apparently he went on around Christmas Day, he went on Instagram and wrote the following: dropping that old school rock theme music for my boy Jaden Harden from at Make-A-Wish America. So he was granting a Make-A-Wish. Jaden is 15 and he's awesome. Jaden's wish was to meet the People's Champ. He is a huge rock and pro wrestling fan, and we had a blast chopping up his favorite wrestlers and matches. I love pro wrestling, so my time with Jaden was super dope. I told him a little secret that may or may not involve some dude returning to WWE to lay the smackdown on all their candy asses. There's a lot of negative and toxic noise out there in the world, but there's a lot of positive, good things too, and Jaden is one of them. So, essentially, The Rock, yet again, teased another return to the WWE. And I got to say, if he's lying to a Make-A-Wish kid, you get your ass kicked for doing something like that. You're going to hell. Like you can't, you can't lie to the Make-A-Wish kid. So it tells like this has got to be happening now. And the other report too is that he teased his in-ring return recently, and now there's another report that the West Australian, I guess that's a newspaper or a media site in Perth, Australia.
I get them delivered to my house. Yeah,
yeah, of course, we all do. You should read. Don't read the back pages though. But they've revealed that the tourism bosses have pitched the idea to WWE, though it's unknown if a deal is possible at this time, to bring The Rock to Elimination Chamber 2024. They're saying that the timing is interesting, given that The Rock just teased returning to the WWE the day before. And now they're trying to, the tourism industry in Australia is really trying to push for Dwayne to show up on the road to WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber in Australia. So is this happening? Is The Rock going to enter the Royal Rumble, win it all, and wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? Or are you still certain it's going to be Roman versus Cody and Rock's going to be in another match at WrestleMania?
So, no, I 100% think Punk is winning the Rumble. The Rock is winning Elimination Chamber. Roman is going to beat The Rock at WrestleMania, and he's going to lose the belt to Cody at SummerSlam so he can beat Hulk Hogan's record, and Cody still finishes his story. Why does Cody have to win at Mania?
Yeah.
I don't know who Cody's going to face at Mania, but you're here to hear. That's what I'm going with. SummerSlam is after, right? August. That's after his. When is
he has to hold it until September to win.
Oh, so maybe not SummerSlam. So maybe after, maybe at the
Survivor Series
or something like that.
Or Crown Jewel or something.
Yeah. But I don't think he's facing Cody anymore. I think they're going to move on from that. I think they want to keep pushing this Cody story, and it's hot. Here's the thing: you give him the belt, you don't know what's going to happen. And right now, Cody's the biggest dude. So if you give him the belt, people might turn on him, and he might not be that dude anymore. So why not? Yeah, you want Roman to have the belt. You want Roman to beat Hogan's record, obviously. Because
I still think
that.
Sorry, I was just saying. I still think that they should do. It should still be Roman Cody at WrestleMania, and Cody loses, of course. And then I think The Rock and John Cena will do like a makeshift tag team, like they did a couple of years ago against the Wyatts, and they'll go after like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Because the last time we saw The Rock in a WWE ring, he was tearing down Austin Theory. Austin Theory's in the tag team with Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller's been calling The Rock out to be on the Grayson Waller effect. So I feel like they're gonna and John Cena has history with both guys as well. So I feel like they're gonna maybe they do that to prevent injuries in the future, because I am worried about The Rock's health. He hasn't wrestled since 2013. So just like CM Punk, he's making his in-ring debut in WWE 10 years later. And the last time he wrestled was against John Cena, and he broke he had like a hernia and like tore his nipple off, and like all these things like fell off of him.
Not the people's nipple.
And they had to like delay filming and stuff. So I am convinced he's going to show up at Mania. I just don't know in what capacity. And I do want to see Roman versus Rock. I just don't think the title needs to be on the line for that.
We'll see. Well, Roman's winning, so it doesn't matter if the title's on the line.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But speaking of
the other news,
speaking of legends in the WWE, we have another legend who may be coming to AEW. He might be going back to WWE. Who knows? But Bill Goldberg, he recently appeared on let me get the name right, the Steve and Captain Evil podcast. I guess they work for Ringside News. And he did an interview with them. And he said that he basically called Vince McMahon, a direct quote, piece of shit. And so here's what he said. I owe Vince McMahon everything until we went to Saudi Arabia and he asked me to put Roman Reigns over. And I had COVID. I remember calling him from my house and said, listen, here's the deal. I'll do it if you give me a retirement match. I did what he asked. As a performer, I was 56 years old. As a human being, you're conscientious about how you look in a bathing suit, especially 2 months prior to being in that bathing suit. You couldn't work out because you had COVID. Like this, what the hell is he talking about?
I mean, he is half naked on
that's
TV.
True.
But yeah, okay.
I put myself in a horribly shitty situation to get what I wanted to, but to satiate him and give him what he wanted. The retirement match never happened, and he lost to Roman Reigns in what was his final appearance, prompting him to say, Vince is a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. So there's that. Goldberg hates Vince McMahon. But, I also want to say that Vince McMahon gave you 2 Universal Championship runs, including, taking the belt off of a red-hot Kevin Owens at the time when he was doing the Festival of Friendship. That's the whole reason Jericho left WWE, because he thought the belt should be for him and KO in their WrestleMania feud. He took the belt off of Bray Wyatt in Saudi freaking Arabia. When Bray Wyatt was white hot. You had him beat the Brock Lesnar, the man who ended the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, in 86 seconds, I think it was. So in this case, Goldberg was Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar was Kofi Kingston. I mean, it was just like that's how quickly he took he beat Brock at WrestleMania. So Vince was pretty good to Bill Goldberg in the latter years. So I do agree with Goldberg that Vince is a piece of shit, but I don't think he's a piece of shit because he didn't give him a retirement match. And this happened in 2022. That was his last match was Elimination Chamber against Roman in Saudi Arabia last year. So maybe Vince promised him a retirement match, but you know what happened late last year? Vince got fired. Vince retired, and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon took over, and now TKO came over. So maybe he's not. I don't think he's a piece of shit for this reason, but I think he's a piece of shit for many other reasons. And I do have to say, if Vince McMahon made Goldberg wrestle while he had COVID-19 against Roman Reigns, a leukemia survivor and somebody who opted out of WrestleMania 2020 because of COVID during the pandemic, then yes, he is the biggest piece of shit in the world. So, but not because of he didn't give Goldberg his retirement match, but for many, many other reasons that we don't need to get into right now.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I think out of it all, the worst is that he was going to have him wrestle him. So I don't, with COVID, when Roman literally, do you not remember that speech when he, you know, my name is blah, 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 and I have,
my name is Joe
cancer,
and I have leukemia.
Yeah, that's like one of the saddest like promos ever. And that's really what I feel was the start of Roman Reigns' success. I mean, I know I hate to say it, but sometimes bad situations make people love you. And that was that moment, because then he came back as the damn tribal chief and has not looked back since. And major props to Roman during that entire time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I believe what Goldberg's saying. I think in the end, though, it's better for Goldberg to go to AEW and have a few matches than it is for him to go to WWE to have one more. I think he could do a little bit more in AEW, honestly, than come back to WWE. But if that's what he really wants, I don't know if Triple H likes him or not. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's what this podcast was.
But Goldberg does deserve some. I mean, I know Goldberg wasn't the greatest and blah blah blah, but I mean, he still did some things, and you know, he had the biggest streak ever, and he's kind of gotten mistreated. I mean, when he lost to Nash, that was whack sauce, and he had that sad match with him and the Undertaker, which I don't know whose fault it truly was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, he deserves at least you know, if he was told to have that match, props to him to, you know, to deserve to get it. I think. I mean, give the man a break. I mean.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But
although he doesn't like wrestling, I hear. But
yeah, and that's what this whole podcast was alluding to too. Was he wants to be involved in Sting's last match somehow. So I have a feeling we might be seeing Goldberg in All Elite Wrestling for his last match at Revolution.
And I think that's
next
better.
Year.
Yeah.
So
I think
we'll
that's
see.
Better.
We'll see.
All right.
And then the last big story is one CM Punk. He's back in the news again. But this time for good reasons. There's some other stuff going on in AEW that we'll talk about tomorrow that involve some friends of CM Punk. But CM Punk made his in-ring debut in the WWE for the first time in 10 years, or almost 10 years. It was 2014. And he wrestled on the WWE Holiday Tour house show event at Madison Square Garden this past Tuesday night, December the 26th. And he wrestled Dirty Dom. And it was a banger of a match, and CM Punk, of course, got the victory. But now all the reports are coming out that this was the highest grossing domestic non-televised WWE show of all time. The crowd was sold out, and you know it was a good night. It was a good night. Sami Zayn returned at this house show. CM Punk was the third match on the night, so he wasn't the opener, he wasn't the closer, he was like the third or fourth match of the show.
Makes sense.
So yeah, he also cut a promo after the event, or after the match, and basically doubled down that he's going to not just enter the Royal Rumble, but he's going to win the Royal Rumble, and he's not finishing any story, he's coming back to finish what he started. Good line. Yeah, it was a good night for CM Punk, and you know, there was a lot of fans chanting "You still got it" when he threw like a punch. He didn't even like do a slam. It was like he threw a punch and they yelled "You still got it." And so clearly showing that the casual wrestling fans that watch WWE don't watch AEW, because he was just in a ring 4 months ago. But
what? Yeah.
Newsflash. He was at All In London and wrestling Samoa Joe, who's going after the title. So you know, it was a good night for CM Punk, and it just goes to show that, you know, all these people that said that CM Punk was not a draw and is not a ratings mover, and Roman Reigns even said this, that he's not a needle mover, and that's why Roman Reigns has that needle mover shirt. He was alluding to Punk about that. I mean, he sold out Madison Square Garden. I have a feeling he's going to do big numbers when he comes to your backyard for the Kia Forum for the next house show where he's going against Dom again on the December 30th. So. Yeah,
you want me to go? I know
this is the highest grossing house show in WWE history, and Roman wasn't even there.
Nope. Yeah, I just told you too, is that the fact that I didn't even know WWE did house shows anymore, so live events, and now all of a sudden it's like the biggest thing ever. Like all the wrestlers were like, Finn Balor was putting like the last matches of the year for Finn Balor, last matches of the year for Rhea Ripley, last matches of the year for like when are they going to do all their live events? I'm like, when did live events? I don't know. That must be a new TKO thing that now they want those live events to be pushed. I have mixed feelings about live events because you're just going basically to watch the performers because there's going to be no storyline pushes or no, it's just them working their craft, right? Building new feuds to see if they work together well, which is great. This one feels a little bit different. I kind of want to watch it because I think it'd be pretty dope to dress up as Dirty Dom at a live event where everybody's there for CM Punk. I think I can get some major heat there. I think it'd be fun to record it. I think I could record, and I would love to live stream the entire match for everybody on TikTok. So I'm thinking about it, but like I said, that it's like as expensive as a normal Raw. I'm like, for me to pay the same amount of money for a televised event where I can get something big to happen for a live is insane to me. But nonetheless, one more thing really too I want to bring up is that Triple H took full authority over the WWE Hall of Fame. So with that said, are we finally going to get Demolition? Are we finally going to get, certain people, Lex Luger and the people that were blackballed forever by Vince, or does Vince still have a say? I don't know, but there are so many Hall of Famers. I know we don't have much time now, but so hopefully, because right the wrong Triple H. I just feel bad because now there's some Triple H Hall of Fames that he's not in yet, right? I don't think he's in. DX is in. Is Evolution in?
Evolution is not in. Batista's
so see, there are
in.
still Batista he'll get in. They've been wanting him to get in. But I'm just saying it always sucks when you're the guy doing it. But maybe since Triple H took over, they can put Vince in. Because I'm sorry, I know he's an a-hole or whatever, but Vince McMahon still to this day.
He deserves it.
If he's not the biggest heel ever in wrestling, he's at least top 2. So, I mean, that dude helped change the game by letting Stone Cold beat him up forever. So he needs to be in the Hall of Fame as well. And he's a former champ. But anyway, you ready to get into the weekly news? Let's do this.
Yeah, let's
do this. All right, SmackDown. Let's see if I can get this. My writing is so nasty, but 60 seconds or less recap. Let's go. AJ Styles opens up the show and says he needs to face Roman. LA Knight comes out and says the same thing. Randy Orton also comes out and says the same thing. Cue Nick Aldis, and we have a 3-way in 2 weeks to decide Roman's opponent at the Royal Rumble. Shotzi, Belair, Vega, and Michin beat Damage Control, and Michin pins the champ. All right, Dragon Lee beats Butch to defend his title. Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns have a talk. Aldis gives 0 beeps about Roman or Solo facing AJ tonight. KO beats Hayes in the U.S. tournament. AJ Styles is mean to his friends, and Karrion Kross is gonna have a crew soon. Santos Escobar beats Bobby Lashley to advance in an upset. Butch will fight Pretty Deadly in 2 weeks, and Logan Paul is never impressed. In the main event, AJ wins by DQ thanks to Roman saving Solo. When the Bloodline and AJ, Randy, and LA Knight brawl again to close the show. And that is our pre-tape SmackDown recap. I think I got it all right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a solid show for a pre-tape. And
it really was, yeah.
We had the 2 U.S. title matches, which I'm telling you, man, Carmelo Hayes, he's ready. That man is that match against KO. I understand why they wanted KO to win, and I'm glad that KO got the win. I just hate that he had to beat Carmelo Hayes in the semifinals. I think they should have put him on the opposite sides of the bracket and had Kevin Owens and Carmelo Hayes meet in the championship for the U.S. title. And and then Kevin Owens goes over, but he puts Carmelo Hayes over on the way up. So. It was a great match from Carmelo Hayes, a great performance in this tournament. And then, it
wasn't his time yet, though. That's why I think they're going to bring him up later. I think they just got him to got to sprinkle him, let the people see him. So he still looks super good.
Yeah. I still wish he would have made the championship. But
there's other people winning that tournament.
Oh yeah. And then Bobby Lashley and Santos Escobar, that was a good match. And I'm excited to see what they do now with Santos's new crew, his old crew, his same guy. What is it, Legado del Fantasma or whatever it's called? Yeah. So it should be an interesting final, and it's basically setting up for Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens, and that's a match I've wanted to see. They teased it a while ago, so I'm excited about it. I think it should be. It's going to be a banger of a match. I am curious though how we get to Logan Paul versus LA Knight at WrestleMania, if that's the direction they're even going. They may not even be going that direction, but
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I just don't see how we get there. But we'll see.
Well, after he doesn't continue on, I feel like he has to do something, so that'll be the perfect time for him to face off. My thing is Santos Escobar. That's the guy who I'm talking about, who I think is the Swerve Strickland in AEW right now. That just Santos Escobar is money. Ever since he turned heel, he's done nothing but cut great promos, have great matches, and he's in the same situation as Swerve, where he got put into a tournament that he's probably not going to win when he should be doing nothing but winning right now. So it's
true.
weird again, but Santos Escobar, man, you're going to tell me right now you can't picture that guy with a title around his back, around his neck, and being that guy and that dirty heel, and like, I mean, he is like that dude, Santos Escobar. I'm telling you, man, look out for him. Look out for Santos Escobar. And Mitch winning against Damage Control, stupid. If Damage Control was just finally catching fire and you have him take a L, but I guess Io Sky needs to face somebody. She can't keep facing the same people, so why not beat up on Mitchin, I guess. I don't know.
I just don't get her taking a pinfall. I don't understand. I mean, we criticize AEW for that, and you have her, you have Io Sky taking a clean pin, which makes no sense either. But
no.
I did want to say that I like the encounter between Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns. That, you know, finally there's an authority figure that is not going to kowtow to everything, all of Roman Reigns' demands. And we got to remember, Nick Aldis is only 35, 36 years old, and he's still an active in-ring performer. Or he's not active right now.
Not active, no. Didn't he get hurt? Isn't that why he doesn't? Yeah.
I think so. I think he got hurt recently, and maybe that's why he's in this authority figure. But I think he could easily come back into the ring at any moment. And, you know, we could have a Nick Aldis, who's a former NWA and Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Maybe he has a match with Roman Reigns in the future. I don't know, but I like that little encounter that they had where, you know, it finally showed an authority figure standing up to Roman and saying, like, this is my show, and you know, I'm not gonna cater to your every need. And it was,
he's bigger than Roman. He looked bigger than him sitting next to him. I don't know, but I did
he didn't back down.
Roman was a little scared. Yeah, he was not. Yeah, Roman felt a little threatened. What's going on with Karrion Kross? Are you excited about his new supposed? People paused it and put it all over the internet of the AOP. The most like a tag team that was good in NXT that did not work in WWE, which I don't even think it was Vince's fault because they brought them in as AOP. They just didn't work. I don't see everyone so excited
Paul
now.
Ellering's back too, his manager. And I'm not. And the reason why is because we just like Karrion Kross. We had a former podcast partner who leaves and comes back all the time. And Karrion Kross is becoming that guy where he's like, hey, you know, we just saw him wrestle 2 weeks ago in the US title tournament. And now, you know, he's doing vignettes. He's like, I'm coming soon. I'm coming back. And you know, when I come back, I'm going to do this. I will say that I liked the storytelling elements of his vignette where he was talking about how he made Drew McIntyre snap and he made Ray turn on his child, and he made
all his losses mean something, right?
It was like, okay, well, I mean, because I was wondering, like, why did he put the TikTok, the clock in Roman Reigns's in the ring for Roman Reigns when he debuted on the main route when he came back. And, you know, he's never going to face Roman Reigns, but the bloodline broke because of it. So I guess I did kind of like that. If they're not going to have him wrestle, like at least tie up the loose ends. And I did like that, but I don't know how I feel about AOP coming back. I mean, it's a boost to the tag division, I guess, which, you know, they have a really solid tag division right now, and it's just going to get even more depth. But Karrion Kross, man, like he loses all the time. So it's, I don't know. I can't take it. I can't take a faction with him in it seriously.
I'm hoping the best for him. So I'm hoping. All right, NXT time. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. What up, David? All right. NXT 60-second or less recap. Chase U loses again, and this time to OTM. Trick wants to push his title match back because of Dragunov's injury, but Hayes disagrees. Dar wins by DQ against Briggs for the Heritage Cup. Cora Jade wins fast. Osborne advances in the tournament, beating Lexus King, I guess. Braun Breaker beats Nathan Frazier, and Baron Corbin is back watching. Henley, Brooks, and Briggs break up, I guess. Valkyria and Davenport have a sit down. Femi or whatever advances in the tournament. Joe Gacy beats Joe Coffey in the Battle of the Joes. Dijak beats Eddie Thorpe in the NXT Underground main event fight for real with people watching around the ring. And we close the night with Trick Williams and Dragunov signing their contracts for New Year's Evil, where Dragunov takes that neck brace off and whatever happened to Rich Holland. That's the NXT recap. 60 seconds or less. I mean, not a lot to dissect, but what do you think? I mean?
Yeah, this was an episode. I wish they would have aired the CM Punk Dominic Mysterio house show over this episode of NXT instead, because this just felt like let's just phone it in for the rest of the year,
Yeah.
and we'll come back strong for New Year's Evil in 2024. So, yeah, I don't understand Lexus King losing. I really thought he was one of the favorites to win this breakout tournament. I don't understand what's going on with him and his booking right now in NXT. And then, yeah, I'm kind of sad about the trio breaking up of Jensen and Briggs and even Fallon Henley.
I didn't know you could just break up. Like they're just like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up? What's up? We should break up. All right, cool.
Okay, see you later, guys. Yeah. At least it was an amicable thing and not like somebody doing the typical. Well, I'm going to turn on you and hit you with the chair when your back is turned.
It reminded me of Dumb and Dumber. Big gulps, huh? All right, see you later.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Like it was just so like break up. All right, see you
well,
later. Like
see you. Have a good one.
Yeah, I was like, cool beans. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. The Jack match was kind of pointless. What do you think of like Dragunov? They didn't even he shows up with a thing on his neck, and who does he want? He wants Trick Williams. Like, no, what was the point of Rich Holland? I'm so confused.
Yeah, that I don't understand.
He's just facing Trick anyway. So was this a way to get Trick to win, or is he going to lose? And even with the neck injury, I don't know.
This makes me hate that whole angle even more because they had Rich Holland almost in tears last week, like, oh, I can't believe I did this again, not again. Like, is that becoming his character now or what? And then there's no follow up on it, and then and now Ilya Dragunov's just like completely moving on. He's not even going to go after Rich Holland. He's going right after Trick Williams. I don't know. It just kind of, like I said, I felt like they phoned this episode in because they knew it was the last one of 2023, and they knew that millions of people, or however many people fit in the Madison Square Garden, we're going to be watching Punk instead. So I do wish they would have aired that instead of this episode of NXT, or just do a clip show for NXT and do a best of show.
I mean, they at least did push New Year's Evil. There were some matches set up, other things that went on. They got the finals going. I'm a little confused with Lexus King because he came in hot, and now he can't. If you can't win a breakout tournament, then why am I supposed to think you're anything?
And
he lost to a Chase U guy. Chase U's not even hot right now. They're in like a losing streak, but this guy's winning. I'm very confused.
Yeah, it's not even like he lost in the finals. He lost in the one of the opening matches of this thing.
Weird stuff. Weird booking. But what can you do? But I'm excited. Since that's our weekend review, I am excited for what's coming up for WWE because they took a week off, which was super cool of Triple H. Once you have a family, you realize, it's not the DX days anymore. These people need time off. They can't just be drinking and doing drugs like Shawn Michaels was, during all his time off. But the thing is that like we're coming back to like three popping there's like 3 pay-per-views on TV basically with Raw day 1, NXT New Year's Evil, and then Smackdown. What is theirs called?
New Year's Revolution or
whatever. Like so it's like 3 straight basically pay-per-views, all title shots, matches going on. So it's going to be a banger of a week. And really quick before we get into year-end awards, I want to tell you I went and saw Iron Claw last night, and holy cow, I went and saw it with someone who wasn't a wrestling fan. They still loved that dang movie. But if you're going to be a man who's not afraid to cry, don't go watch that movie because you'll be crying for at least the last 45 minutes of that movie. Well acted, well written, well done. I looked up things afterwards. They obviously Hollywood up a lot of the stuff, which kind of sucks. But just so you know, they leave out an entire kid. Which I think is the stupidest thing I looked it up, and the director said, well, it's because he like died the same way as another kid, and he was like the same kid, so it was like, why have because you're making a story on a true story based on a family. You got to have all the kids. But it really made me think less of the Von Erichs, not all of them, but just the fact of how the dad raised them. It was very cult-like. It was I heard about the Von Erichs. Like I knew how the Texas Tornado died because he was a WWE guy, and I watched him back then when he beat Mr. Perfect for the IC title. But either way, great movie. I don't want to give spoilers. Go see it. If you're a wrestling fan, you have to see it. The end. But it's a really, really good movie. So that's it before we get in the year-end awards. I know we got to get into them. We got like a few minutes, but
yeah, I'll check it out. I'm gonna just probably see it Yeah, this weekend or next week sometime. But
You won't
yeah.
even recognize Zac Efron. The dude is
Oh
like,
yeah, I heard he's
and he's
jacked.
way. I saw the picture of the real Kevin Von Erich. He wasn't even that jacked. I don't know if he was just like, and suppose he got jaw surgery, and he like it doesn't even look like Zac Efron.
Yeah.
But the movies, though, I give it a 9 out of 10. I would have given it a 10 out of 10 if they would have added that one son. I think it's ridiculous that you're like, nah, he's not important. Well, yeah, they are important, and
Yeah,
his
they're all
life was
important.
lost
Yeah.
as well. So why
It
not
drives
give
me
him a
crazy.
little bit of a
It drives me nuts when movies do that. Like I
yeah?
saw that movie Patriot Day, which was the movie about the Boston Marathon bomber,
Mhm.
and Mark
Oh yeah,
Wahlberg.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like they're talking, they're
Good movie.
rehashing everything that happened. I found out afterwards the Mark Wahlberg's character didn't even
Made up.
exist. Yeah,
Yep.
completely made. I'm like, then like they made him out to be like the hero in this movie. He's
Yeah.
like shooting at the bad guys and
Yeah.
going at. I'm
Based
like,
on a true story, but a made up character.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, why do you? I don't understand this. I don't get why you
Mhm.
did this. Um,
Yeah. Well,
Makes
that
no
was like
sense.
them too. Like the Von Erichs who they wrestled and stuff. I like looked it up and like the stuff didn't even happen like that in real life. I was like, wah, wah. But anyway, it is what it is. It's Hollywood. You take what you can get. But all right, you
Yeah.
ready for the WWE year-end awards?
Yes,
Unlike
sir.
AEW, these ones were a lot easier but harder at the same time because it was WWE. Like I stated before, it's the best. 2023 is the best year in wrestling ever. I'm gonna say it. WWE's best year ever, and I've been watching since '84, y'all. So boom, eat it. All right, you ready? We start with you. We'll go up and down. Let's start with the feud. I think this year, I think AEW, we had nothing the same. I think we're going to have quite a few of the same this time around. But feud of the year, 2023, let's go. Who you got, Ryan?
I'm gonna say the Bloodline versus Sami Zayn, and like I think that's the feud of the year. You had the moment at the Rumble, then you had the match at Elimination Chamber, the tag team match, and night one of WrestleMania, Night of Champions, the tag team title match with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against Roman and Solo, which then that kind of led to the downfall of the Bloodline there, where Jimmy and Jay turn, and Jay and Sami reunite for War Games, and it was just Roman takes his first pin. So I think I'm going to say it's Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline is
All
my
right,
feud of the year.
we're 1 for 1. So I know behind me, that poster was last year, 2022. And that was probably the best moment, in my opinion, of the Bloodline storyline with Sami Zayn. But they didn't feud until 2023. So yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Moments better happened in 2022, but when Sami Zayn left the Bloodline, that was it. Bloodline was done. Sami Zayn, it pretty much was like the end of it all. So yeah, that feud was amazing. It went on for so long. We saw Roman's first taking an L for the first time. Good stuff. Good stuff from Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. All right, let's go. Best promo of the year. Let's go. What's the best promo? There were so many. Like you said, there was no standout, but there was a lot. So this year was hard on both. I don't feel like there was nowhere had that one standout promo.
I'm gonna go the Paul Heyman promo on Cody Rhodes on the road to WrestleMania, where you saw a different side of Paul Heyman, where he was talking about how much he loved Dusty Rhodes, and you saw him get emotional, and he was talking about how much he loved Dusty and what Dusty meant to him, and how Dusty changed his career and everything. And then in typical Paul Heyman fashion, he brought it back and basically said that that Roman is the son that Dusty always wanted, and he brought it back to storytelling. He brought it back to storyline, and it was just an incredible. I thought it was the best promo of the year for sure. It was my favorite promo. It got me more excited about the match because I was kind of down on the build for Cody and Roman going into WrestleMania, and this got me a little bit more excited about it. And then Roman and Cody had some great moments there later on, and then the match happened at Mania, and it was a banger of a match too. So. But yeah, that promo of Roman being the son Dusty always wanted, but you were the son that Dusty had. It was just fantastic. A great line and a great promo that got me hyped for this match even more.
Yeah, good choice. There was a few Paul Heyman ones I wanted to pick, a few Roman Reigns ones I wanted to pick. Believe it or not, a Trish Stratus one I wanted to pick. There was a Becky Lynch one, but I'm going January 2023. So if you remember last Thanksgiving in 2022, a little someone interrupted his dad's Thanksgiving celebration. Follow that up on Christmas Day, where him and his mommy broke into the house and interrupted Christmas Day, which led to Dirty Dom being arrested. And this is when he was just Dom. So we open up Raw in January with a promo of Dirty Dom becoming who Dirty Dom is, cutting a promo from jail where he cut, to my
I forgot about
opinion,
that one.
is it the
Yeah.
best promo? No, but it's my favorite because without that promo, we would not have Judgment Day. Anything that is going on right now that led Dirty Dom cutting that thing where he was talking about he did hard time and blah blah. Go back and watch it. It is such a damn good promo. And I know it wasn't in the ring. I know it was pre-recorded, but that led to the walkout at Mania. That led to everything Dirty Dom, the bandana, who he is right now, still doing the prison thing. I got to say that was the best promo just because it began the best heel of WWE in 2023.
Yeah.
So
That got him all that
boom.
heel heat too, for sure. That
Yep.
got him the significant heel heat.
Yes,
So.
sir. All right. We got feud. We got best promo. Most shocking moment of 2023. We're gonna have the same one.
So I have two for this one.
Okay.
And only because my runner up was going to be my winner up until something happened recently. But my for 11 and a half months, this man had the lead, and that was Sami Zayn turning on the Bloodline at the Royal Rumble. It was, to me, it's the loudest pop that I've ever heard for a non-debut or non-return of a new superstar or something. It was the loudest pop I've ever heard. It was the biggest babyface turn I think I've ever seen. The crowd was into it, and it was the psychological aspects of, you know, Jey Uso being conflicted and Sami Zayn accepting his fate. He hit Roman with the chair, and he even said, "I'm sorry" to Jey, and accepted his fate that he was going to get his ass kicked, all while Kevin Owens was handcuffed to the ring. Fantastic stuff. Roman's facial expressions were great. The crowd was awesome. But as great as that was, I cannot put it over CM Punk coming back to the WWE at Survivor Series War Games. That was, you know, a moment that we never thought we would see happen. I still didn't think it was going to happen. WWE duped us with the logo on the screen, making us think that Randy Orton was the big return, and that was it. And I would have been fine with it. And and then CM Punk saved that pay-per-view at the very end, and the reactions we saw from Seth Rollins and Mommy, and you know, the reactions we saw from other TikTokers, and it was just an incredible moment, and it all happened so quickly. It sounds like. I mean, it sounds like it like all happened overnight. And yeah, now Punk is he's rejuvenated and refreshed and having banger matches now.
Yeah, there was a few. You could have picked Roman defeating Cody at Mania. You could have picked the Undertaker.
I thought about that one too.
The Undertaker at NXT. Even Bray Wyatt passing could have been the most shocking moment. I know that's sad, but it was shocking. But I agree with you. I had the same two as you, Sami Zayn, but then you had to give it to CM Punk. It just makes sense. There's no way to go against it. All right, most improved, my man. Who was the most improved of the year? We better have the same person, bro.
So
have the same person.
I'm actually going to go Io Sky on this one.
We don't.
Just based on where she was to where she is now. You know, she was kind of the third girl in Damage Control for much of 2022. She was kind of her and Dakota Kai were kind of the jobbers of the group, the ones that took the losses, and now here she is a year and a half later, and she's the women's champion. She's having banger matches. She's taking pinfalls to Mitchin on SmackDown for whatever reason, but she's having banger matches after banger matches. She ended Asuka's women's championship reign. She is back with Kairi Sane now, and Asuka's part of Damage Control. So yeah, I think Io Sky deserves recognition for being most improved from where she was to where she is.
Yeah, great pick. But the only right answer was Dirty Dom. So
yeah,
the fact that he went from his little wimpy dad character tag teaming with them to joining the Judgment Day, kind of being like the lost guy, to, like I said, that promo where he did prison time all the way until now. That dude went from people saying he shouldn't even be wrestling and talking to wrestling the likes of CM Punk in his first ever live match, wrestling Cody Rhodes, winning the NXT North American title and probably being the best NXT North American champion ever, to the biggest heel. Yeah. It's got to be Dirty Dom. Yes, sir.
I thought about Dirty Dom. I thought about LA Knight too. I was going to go LA Knight.
A lot of people are doing LA Knight,
but yeah,
what did he do other than say, yeah, that's not an improvement. All right, yeah, tag team of the year. This was a hard one. So what'd you get?
I really want to pick Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But I think I got to pick Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, just because they got to main event night 1 of WrestleMania, the only time that the tag team titles have been defended. They got the victory. They broke the bloodline essentially. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat Roman and Solo Sikoa at Night of Champions. So, yeah, I think it's got to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Close second is Damian Priest and Finn Balor, in my opinion.
Great pick. I was gonna pick them. I had to go with Judgment Day just because those are my dudes. So
yeah,
2 champs, still have them. So I agree with you. I think it was either one of them. There was really nobody else to kind of pick unless you try to do like a women's, but there wasn't really.
The thing about Judgment Day,
the Creeds.
The thing about Judgment Day is they take too many losses. That's 1 week they win, next week they lose. They lost it at Survivor Series, and then they're beating the Creeds on Raw. It's just that's the 50-50 booking with them.
I agree. All right, female of the year. Is this like the most obvious? I saw people picking other people, which is bonkers to me. But who's the female of the year in all of wrestling?
Yeah, it is the woman who entered the Royal Rumble at number 30, Nia Jax. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I was like, wait, she didn't enter at 30.
Yeah, no, she did. She did enter at number 30 this year.
I was the person I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
Rhea Ripley. It's got to be Rhea Ripley. There's nobody better. I've seen people pick Becky Lynch. I've seen people pick like Bianca Belair, and no, it's Rhea Ripley hands down. She's had a phenomenal year. She hasn't had the best women's championship reign, but I think that's changing here shortly. And I think
she was too good.
Yeah,
when you have no one to feud with. Yeah.
And I mean, she's not afraid to go after the men. She's been involved in the main storylines on both Raw and SmackDown and on NXT. She's challenges Paul Heyman. She's not afraid of the bloodline. It's got to be Rhea Ripley, hands down.
Same. She might be the wrestler of the year, period. Like in all of wrestling. I'm talking MJF. I'm talking Seth, whoever else you have. I'm talking she might be the wrestler of the year, not just the female. But all right, male of the year. Who you got? This is a tough one.
Yeah, this one was hard. And I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes. As much as
that's a popular pick. That's
as much as it
ESPN gave it to him.
Yeah. As much as it pains me, I feel like the man, he's only lost since he's been back in WWE. He's only lost to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. That's it. Everybody else, that has been put in front of him, he has beaten, including Brock Lesnar twice. Damian Priest, Dirty Dom, the War Games stuff. He won the tag team championships with Jey Uso, and then Jey Uso took the pin and lost him again to the Judgment Day. So, yeah, I got to go Cody Rhodes. And, his matches haven't been terrible. His matches have actually been pretty entertaining. I'm just kind of stale on his character, but his in-ring ability is phenomenal. And, I'm going with him as my male of the year in the WWE. As much as it pains me, because I'm not a Cody guy.
All right, I would have allowed that for MVP, but not male of the year, my man. The male of the year is somebody who has never lost in the year 2023. The man who has made that certain title the most relevant title in all of wrestling. In my opinion, the best champion in all of wrestling, including MJF over in AEW. And that is one Ring General Gunther. Gunther is the man. I don't know how I don't own Gunther shirts right now. I'm actually going to go look on for WWE with all my Christmas money to go get a Gunther shirt because he is the dude, the man. He just had a baby boy. So he just put the entire world on notice with that too, because that boy is about to probably be the biggest star in 20 years. Gunther is just that man. And the fact that he can win matches with just slapping you the entire time just shows how amazing he is. All right, but good choice. I'm just messing with you with Cody Rhodes. But all right. Rhodes. Match of the year. This one was hard. There was about 75 matches I could have picked. So what's the match of the year? We got 2 more. I know you got to go.
I'm going Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. Elimination Chamber is my hands down match of the year. I think it's better than Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. I think it's bigger than Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. I think this was the match that put Sami Zayn on the map. The crowd was into it. Roman's heel heat was fantastic. Like I've never heard heel heat like that. Like, and they despised Roman Reigns in that arena. They were all about Sami Zayn. The ending was a little overbooked, but I thought the match itself was really freaking good. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, thinking like, are they really going to take this belt off of Roman and put it on Sami? And that's what you want when you watch a match, the storytelling that they could actually do this.
Great pick. I love that pick a lot, actually. There were so many matches. The
Yeah.
one I was going to pick was Trish versus Becky in the steel cage.
That's a good
and
one, too.
I'm mad I didn't pick it because that's like your pick. That's like your oddball pick that people ain't talking about that I think is the best. But you know me. I always have to pick matches that I saw live. So it has to be when we went together. Truly, maybe the only match I really fully remember from our WrestleMania, because we were pretty drinking a lot of water at the time. We had one too many waters. I'm gonna go Drew versus Sheamus versus my male of the year, Gunther, at WrestleMania 30. I know everyone else is doing the Charlotte Rhea and the Cody.
I thought you were going with Dom and Ray.
Okay, so I was, but I love that match, but I didn't like the outcome. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew, man, that was a banger. I'll always remember that match. So I'm going to go them. And that kind of was what kind of really catapulted Gunther. All right, MVP, you ready?
This one's easy for me. It's Gunther. He was my pick for
I like that. All right.
He has been the most, like, as much as I want to say Roman Reigns has, been the man on SmackDown, and he has been. Yes, he's had lengthy absences and everything. Nobody has done what Gunther has done in 2023. I mean, the man is undefeated. He's unbeatable. But not only that, the thing about Gunther that's unappreciated, that people don't really talk about a lot, is he has elevated people like The Miz. Chad Gable is no longer looked at as a joke on the main roster. Ciampa, he's helped elevate him significantly. He's going to elevate Ludwig Kaiser as soon as Kaiser snaps and turns on him, and maybe Giovanni Vici and whoever, like Jey Uso now is getting involved, and I think he's going to elevate Jey in a big way. And I think that's the most unappreciated art that Gunther does in his matches. And it's just he has carried Monday Night Raw. He has made that the Intercontinental Championship great again, for lack of a better phrase. But he's made it worthwhile. He's brought relevancy back to it. He's the longest reigning IC champion, and I don't see any reason for them to take it off of him in the near future. The man is killing it, and he has been the glue that's held the WWE together on Raw, on SmackDown, on pay-per-views. His matches always deliver.
Yeah, I phenomenal pick. I think that he shouldn't lose it. I think he needs to combine them like Warrior and Hogan, and I think he needs to be the IC and the heavyweight champion, and then he relinquishes the IC title, or maybe even says I could do both. The thing that I love about him most too is that the IC title has never felt relevant since like the 90s when I used to watch wrestling. And the IC title was the title that you cared about. He finally has made that title feel important again. Not only that, his promo skills are super underrated. The dude cuts phenomenal promos. All right, my MVP, I'm not doing Cody, believe it or not. I'm going to do another man. I'm going to go with Seth freaking Rollins.
That's a good pick.
And the reason why is because with Roman being a champion who never showed up, he took the title. He has been the true, like I said, Roman came back on SmackDown. I forgot he was even the champ. He walked out with a belt. I was like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
Like, Seth is the champion. He's been the champion. He's been having banger matches. He's been doing his thing. And even though I think he needs to stop with the Joker character and the laugh and just living off his music, and he needs to do like what he did his last promo with CM Punk, where he needs to be more serious, I'm loving him. And I think he's going to show why he's the MVP at Mania, when his and CM Punk's World Championship match is going to steal the damn show at both nights. So I'm going to go with Seth freaking Rollins, baby. All right.
No,
that
I
was
like
our,
that
that
pick.
was
That's
awful.
a good pick.
That was our, all right. That was our 2023 WWE year-end awards. We've knocked them both down. Tomorrow we're back, AEW. We're going to do all things Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite. And I heard that Dynamite was banging this week.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
We got nothing but positives to talk about. From
something
TK's
like that.
X tweets, I could tell that he was loving it. All those booking decisions. And we'll give our World End predictions. And that's the only way I'm not going to watch World's End if I end up going to that live event. So I'll keep you guys updated. But as always, Two Dudes Wolfpack, thank you for tuning in. Continue to subscribe. Check us out on TikTok. You can see it right over here. We're on everything. So I don't even got to say which ones. All of them. Check them out on all of us. I am that heartbreak dude, Denton. And with me, as always, is
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go hit us up on any podcast platform. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it, we're there. Go follow us on TikTok, all the socials, like he said. Subscribe to the YouTube. We're almost at 600 followers on YouTube. So let's help us blow up in 2024 and beyond. We're going to take this thing to new heights. While other people are kind of coming down, we're going to be coming up. And new year, new us.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressive.